Alright, so this is Silver Rom Planes. We're gonna visit this area twice. This first time is a little longer. Second time is much more brief. That being said, there is one item to collect here. It's right along the path, so it's kind of hard to miss. But make sure you do collect it on this particular trip, as it'll save some time. But immediately out of loading from this cutscene, we have some text boxes to get through. And then we'll go to character select. The game automatically defaults to Sue in this situation. We're going to continue to play as Sue for now. Afterwards, kind of hold upright and follow the troll crystals. You don't have to collect them. They don't really serve any purpose in this run or, well, really any run in the game, honestly. But as you're coming along the path, you'll see this object here. You're going to want to run into it and collect it. We're going to use it later. Coming through this area here, we're going to get into a cutscene. These are the citizens of the village we're about to enter, which is Aberk village. They do not speak Japanese, or rather the language that our characters are speaking, and we can't understand them. And that's what they're talking about here. So we're going to follow them into their village, regardless. And that's going to lead to a cutscene and a few other small events, and we're going to go through those now. So again, just follow them through the gate. And then we get another cutscene. This is another pan shot cutscene. If I had to guess, this would be one that is very unlikely to be skippable, no matter what discoveries are made, mostly because it triggers as soon as we come into this loading zone. Anyway, after the cutscene's over, hold up left. We're going to go in this house right here. And we're going to talk to this guy. Mash through the text. And go back outside. Now we have our first platforming. This can be a little bit tricky. We need to get on top of his house. If you look, there's something sitting on top of it. And you do have to talk to him before it's up there. So, that being said, coming up here is a little bit tricky. I like to have the camera like this. It allows me to see the shadow of the character pass between these two pots right here. And I know when to let go of the control stick. We should talk about jumping for a moment though, so let's do that right here in this nice open space. You can't really change the direction that you're going in while in the air very well in this game. That's seriously it. I held left as hard as I could. Jump left. And I held it as hard as I could. So, and that's me holding back. You can control not necessarily the direction you go in as easily, but you can control when you stop a jump very well. And in this situation, the strategy I like to use is you can jump just straight up into this one and hold forward, because you won't jump higher than this pot and you'll just scoot into it. But with this second one, you can jump over the edge and mess up. The way I like to get around this, like I said, is I watch the character's shadow, and I try to hold back as soon as I notice I'm above it. Also, the camera's not zoomed in quite enough. There we go. Like so. Afterwards, you just want to jump up on the roof and collect this. Mash A. And then we're going to immediately fall off and go back into the house. Talk to this villager again, the chief of the village. And now we can understand him. The item that we just picked up, you can view all those items, oops, my bad, in this menu here. We'll never visit this menu in the run, but it's worth noting. This particular item that we just picked up is called the Translation Gummy. It allows us to talk to essentially all the denizens of the world we're in, which is the world of Christaka. Anyhow, after you come out of the house, just continue to mash A single text box is there, and then just hold straight up. Kind of follow around the edge of this lake here, or pond, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go through this gated fence here. We're going to run around this corner and go across this bridge and continue through this grove of trees, and we're going to get a cutscene here. So this is our titular character, Doraemon himself. unfortunately, he is indisposed, and it's really sad. That being said, this lovely citizen of Aberk Village happened to find something that really helps. So walk over to Doraemon and get right up against him. Right up against him. Don't worry about really, like, making sure, just as long as you're in contact with his model. You're going to go into your second menu, and you're going to use this item, the Mini Doraemon. It's basically a 1-up. Just mash A until the cutscene loads. This will bring him back to life. Now, the reason we got as close to him as possible is because after this cutscene's finish happening, we're going to mash B, and then we'll talk to Doraemon, like so. If we weren't close enough to him, we wouldn't have been able to speak to him as quick. It goes to character select again. Just continue to mash A and select Sue. Afterwards, you can turn your camera if you want or not, but we're going back across the bridge and back into Aberk Village. One thing to note is it is nighttime, and it normally would not be nighttime now at this point in the run at all. So we are going to have to sleep. That message there tells us that it is now for sure nighttime, and our characters are going to begin taking damage. Normally, we never have to deal with this in a run, but for the sake of a tutorial, I'm going a little bit slower. That's going to be the end of this part, though. I'm going to sleep and make it the next day, and then we'll continue onward.